Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents.
Hey friends, Ben here, the only one on the podcast without a cool accent. Just dropping by to say thanks a ton for listening or watching, however you enjoy the podcast. It really does mean a lot to us. And if you are a faithful listener or unfaithful listener, we don't judge, and you're thinking, man, I just can't get enough of these 3 rascally boys and their casual Kill Team talk. What else can I do to support? Where else can I find these guys? Well, friend, I would point you to the Kill Team Casuals Patreon page. For just a few bucks a month, whatever you wouldn't miss falling out of your pocket, you can get access to the full long-form video podcast, as well as stay up to know, in the know, or all around the know, all up inside the know, if you will, on what's going on, all these Patreon extracurricular activities, this fun stuff. So, and if you want to be a real baller, you could even be a guest on Legions of Rust, the world-famous game show at the very tippy-top tier. And if you want to be the coolest nerd at your local game store, you can check out some sweet Casual Wargamers merch. That's short for merchandise, if you didn't know, at our Teespring shop. It's getting a little too silly. casualwargamers.creator-teespring.com. And as always, we go live most Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Thanks so much. I will shut up. Back to the lovely show. But I think this takes us into what I'm going to, like you said, Reese, I try to stay pretty positive about all this stuff. What looks to be let me be nice here. The most wild terrain setting we've ever seen. One of you guys called it Water World, and yeah, that's what it is. It's straight up. You're playing on a water world. Hope you can make your jump tests. Who knows what the rules will be like? It's going to be crazy. But there's no way that it can be competitive. It can be fun. That's fine. That can be a thing. But there's no way this can be competitive. It's very strange to me. What do you guys think?
I remember seeing the board. I was like seeing the terrain. I'm like, cool. There's this platform, because there was 2 different bits that they showed. There was a picture, and it was like all the walkways, and I was like, amazing walkways. That was like in the first snippet. I was like, cool walkways. You're gonna have a below level and an above level. Amazing. You fall, you take damage. Like every time we play a game, normally someone knocks a model and it falls. It's like 2d6 falling damage, but that'll actually happen now. But when I saw that it was water, I was like, look, if you can't stand there, like, you've got just enough room to deploy all your models, and then what are you doing with those models? Like, where do they go? If you're taking Chaos Cults, where are you going with those models? Like, you've got nowhere to physically, but they won't literally fit. No, if you're running a Cryptek and he's flown,
6 pieces of terrain to hide them behind.
I'm just like, I saw that and I was like, you know, even talking about the advanced box set where they were like, here's like the full thingy where they got all those. And again, you know what? One thing that kind of bugs me about that, and I'm not, again, trying to be positive, but you know, when terrain. No, it wasn't the furnace thing. It was just the fact that, I mean, maybe it was just the setup. Looking at the terrain, it was like, why is there a walkway above this random bit of terrain that's only 2 squares long? Like, there's nothing up there. Why would you have that? Like, why is there something? And like, why do you go up there? There's no need to go up there. Why have you made this random platform? Like, you've got 2 stilts and a random platform in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, at least have it. Like, at least have it so, like, it kind of looks like it's broken. So it was once part of a walkway. Because otherwise, what the hell are you doing? It's just a clean...
Not very good at reading the STCs. They just made a mistake. They're like, where does that platform go? You're like, we're not. I think Gary built that. We're just letting Gary help. He's not great, but we just let him. That was his platform. It's separate.
They just fit everyone with everyone with water wings and stilts, and they don't need to worry about it, do they? That's what their plan is. Well, everyone's got stilts. Walk in the water.
Exactly. AdMech know what's going on. That stilts is the new way to walk the water world.
Yeah, but I did worry when I saw their official terrain that I was like, that's going to be next to impossible to play on. But Reese, have you seen the big terrain set that they've done?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
Seen that as well. I mean, Drone 4321 makes a good point. Obviously, it's got the double-sided board, which does have, I guess, more board space on it. So obviously to help with that multi-tiered kind of thing. the part that I exactly is why.
Wait, is it a bigger board? What's the board size? Do we know?
That I don't know. No, I only know it's a double-sided
Okay.
and it's got like preset kind of layouts on it. Obviously, you work your terrain in of where the water is.
Okay.
But it's just getting like, I think that with the thing with the terrain. Oh, here you go. Board looks like 30 by 22. The chat's saying so.
Ooh, awesome.
Standard size, nice.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been like Into the Dark size. We don't know. Remember when they changed it up on us?
I think it makes sense that it's not, because obviously these boards probably still wanting to lead people who are playing 40K into being able to, put 4 of them together and play big boy 40K with it. But yeah, I just feel like with the terrain, we always say jokingly when someone gets caught out of cover, the term is your dick in the wind. And this, so my friends now call this dick in the water, because it does look like it's going to be so hard to get armies legitimately into cover. So
the old fishing joke.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be, it's big teams like the Cultists, big teams like with lots of models are really going to struggle, or teams with low armor saves, because of course it just seems there's not. Yeah. And what encourages
and then
you
teams
to
with fly.
Around? Yeah.
Teams with fly,
Harlequins.
auto win. Freaking
much.
Harlequins, man.
Because if you need to climb up to those things to do anything, that's all. That looks like it was at least 3 inches up, or at least more than 2. So you're going to round up. So all you're doing is climbing up there. With any other team with fly is just literally moving and shooting and moving and bopping. And so turn 1 is a write-off for them, whereas flying teams can move and bop it. I don't know. I can't imagine playing this on the designed map if water is basically dangerous terrain. We'll have to see the rules. Yeah, basically. I think we'll have to see the rules, because as always, we don't know what the rules are. The rules could absolutely save this. And it could be, you know what, you hit the water and it's a paddling pool. Who knew the AdMech liked paddling pools? You didn't see it. There's a little duck there. There's a little bubble bath there. It's fine. You just get -2 movement. Something like that. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like, we don't know. But if it's just literally you can't go in it, then that is, I'm just not using that, because what's the point? Harlequins will win automatically. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't look like it's feasible. But again, saying this all before the rules. But you know what?
Yeah, we don't know anything.
If G-Dubs wants a good, a comprehensive review, they can fork out 3 copies, one to America, one to the UK, and one to Oz, and we can have a chat. We can chat through the rules if they want. You know what I mean? G-Dubs pick up the phone.
Yeah, they
but
know.
Until
we
then,
know they're
we're just
listening.
have to wait.
James Workshop.
Yeah.
Bring a ring. Let us know. We're here. We're here for you. We can sway this excited kill
help
team
us
community.
help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Help us help you.
Yeah, baby. But so until we see the rules, it's going to be so hard to know what kind of impact it's going to have. But from just based on what they were saying, it was just like, oh no, floor is lava style. And they said something along the lines of, you really don't want to go in that water. It's like, right. So that's 2/3 of the board is you can't go on it.
2 rules I'm looking forward to actually seeing get some play though. This is some positivity here, and let's take fly out of it for now. Jump tests being a big thing, actually getting and them cool. Having them mattering and them being something. Because right now, when was the last time anyone took a jump test?
Just for fun. I've taken them recently to be like, I'm jumping that building. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
I like it. Like it's fun.
So imagine now actually having to make a clutch jump test to get an objective. Like, I do love the thematic thing of that. That all of a sudden, and maybe that they're a bit harder in this because it's a bit windy or something. Maybe instead of being like only a 1's failing or something, it's like, there's a higher chance that it goes a bit pear-shaped. And you need to maybe take equipment to get around things like that. That could be really interesting. And the other is our mate, the Dozer, just ussing someone off one of the barricades, like, Mufasa style. There can be only one dropping you into the water. This is Sparta, kind of just like yes, that's it. So I love that idea that maybe we might see some more rules of being able to nudge or push models again, maybe a push test or a fight at the end of a fight resolution or something.
Yeah, or like instead of taking a fight, you can choose to push someone two inches. That kind of thing.
Yeah,
but then that does take his unique rule.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe for the jump test thing, maybe you can take a jump test for 1 action point, or you can spend 2 to like safely jump or something like that. Maybe there's something like that, so you don't just auto have to take a fall test or a jump test. Like, who knows? Could be good, but looks real weird. Is sort of my like thoughts on it.
I like Black Sword has made a great missed opportunity for a pirate ship terrain to sit in the middle of the board. I think there's still time. Imagine a Mechanicus like big barge, like a big like broken down Mechanicus, half sunken, oil tanker kind of thing.
Water on the edge.
Cool. Yeah,
like water on some of the edges or something like that. I don't mind that. Although even that's still taking up quite a, you know what I mean? That's still quite a few squares of, or maybe just at the edge. If you push it, can't, the edges count. You can push someone off the edge.
Maybe a few puddles.
Yeah. Sinkholes. A couple of sinkholes. You fall down here. You know what I mean? Or, you know what? Cool. Tokens. You know what? I can melt the floor, create a token, then you put a token that's like a hole, and then you push someone in.
I think that the fact that the terrain is not in the same box as the teams is probably a sign that it's not going to be every box. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To me, I kind of feel like we've never seen that before. This is a new thing. Could this be the new model for this season? Or is this just, it might be indicative that, man, this is not going to be the setting for the whole entire season. So that is my hope, because again, I just don't see how it could be competitive.
Yeah.
But but that's my thoughts. I'm not being in the box might mean something.
I'm kind of hopefully agreeing with Ben here. I think I'm sort of just praying that this water isn't the main thing.
Yeah.
And it's just the walkways, and that they've decided to start with maybe a controversial one and being like, the first official set is water, but the rules will not be about water at all. They'll just be sub rules for quote unquote dangerous terrain. And it'll be like, there'll be rules for walkways and not like, that's what I'm sort of hoping, that you just like, there'll be narrative fluff rules for those sets where it's like, if you hit the water, but all the other rules would be like, they'll give like advanced access. So if you're climbing up one of these terrain points, you can minus 2 inches off it or something like that, just so it gets more people up. And if you're more than 3 inches above, you get like -1 attack dice when someone's shooting you, because you're like hard to, like, they're trying to force you up there. Like, there has to be a reason why you would go up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like there needs to be a reason why you'd go up.
Otherwise, why would you ever do it?
Why would I go up? I lose all my movement to get up there. So they either have to make it easy to get up there, or they're playing specifically for fast-moving fly targets, in which case it's only a benefit, so that there'll have to be a negative as well. And like I say, I was thinking maybe you could do like Overwatch shots against someone jumping over you, like equivalent of a guard. You get a free shoot against someone who's jumping, like, but it has to be something. There has to be some reason why you would go up. And that can only be you get a benefit for going up, or they make it easy to get up there. And like the whole water thing will just be like an additional, by the way, if you fall into water, it's 1d6, 1d3 plus 2 mortal wounds if you fall. And if you fall into some sort of odd terrain, here are the different effects you can get. But it's effectively more damage.
I mean,
I'm thinking
Lapscallion's made a good little point there. The separate box, he unfortunately thinks both your hopes have been dashed. The separate box implies it'll be the same, so they don't have to repeat it like ITD. Each expansion will just have some narrative bits. So probably a little bit like ITD, how each time there was an upgrade sprue, added in the cannon and the turret, added in some destructible walls. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Again, I don't mind if there's one terrain set and it covers the season and you add bits and take it out. I'm very happy with that, because I'm not ending up with 4 sets of the terrain. I buy it once. I still get the teams. I think that is for me as a collector, a much better business model. But as you were saying, Russ, it comes down to though, but do the rules make the gameplay interesting? Because it's like, you can go, that's cool, but I hate it because it just doesn't work. I never find the reason to get my models on a vantage point, or falling off doesn't seem to matter. So why do we have water? Which is very much how we felt about jump test initially. It was like, they're cool, but we never do it. We saw I remember when the set came out and it had the little hatch doors, and we were all like, oh, what are you going to do with the hatches? Can you go in one and come out the other? Can you go down one and there's an underwater like underground like Mario? And then it was like it has to do with narrative, and you get an experience point if you search it. And we were like, oh,
yeah. I see people in the comments saying it's just going to be objectives held on like vantage points, which I'm really hoping it's not, because that just means, guess what? You've got a team with fly. I guess I win, because a 2 EP model has to then move within base to base or an inch, unless they've got climbing ropes, has to move, and then it's not moving again. So it moves, and then it's not getting there until maybe turn 2. Guess what? You're playing loot. You're not going to get to loot that until turn 3. So it's sort of like, and fly can just instantly go move loot. So if that's it, then that can't be it, because otherwise that is just a board game that makes certain play types unplayable.
Yeah. And
like, you can't have loot on that game. It's just, who's going to play that? It's just rubbish. And so I'm really hoping it's not that.
Yeah. Any teams too, like, that have limited movement existing, like, Votan, Necrons, any teams that are already, even if it's just an inch, it'll matter all of a sudden for climbing, getting up. Again, they feel that whether or not their shooting will still be good enough, or their other tricks will be good enough to counteract that. But if it becomes movement's king, things like teams like Corsairs with dashes, Elder free dashes, fly. I mean, look, I can't wait. We know they would have play tested it. Wink. We know that they would have got some advice, so we can definitely hope that it's they've thought of these issues and these things we're talking about. It's just whether or not, I said, it's. We probably had a lot of similar feelings about ITD when we saw it. How is it going to work, and is it going to work? And we got excited about running through walls, but then they panicked and took that away very quickly.
Yeah, I remember that was like, oh, no vantage points. Oh no.
Yeah.
They gave us a team that had a snipe, and they were like, no, a sniper? We're at no vantage points. But like, I like Into the Dark more. Arguably, sometimes I like playing Into the Dark. And it's a great way to start.
It developed well too. They made some quick executive decisions early on after realizing a few things didn't work. So we may find, again, the support overall has been pretty good for Kill Team in terms of rule fixes, rule changes, rule amendments, when things have been balanced. So, okay, I'm excited.
But like, in contrast to that, I was going to say that's the thing, because I remember as Elliot was talking about it, and he's like, it's okay that teams become the strongest team, because we're comfortable with the idea that people will buy multiple teams. You're not married to your army. So if all of a sudden we make an edition where Fly is the king,
Ben might be.
Apart from Ben's definitely married. But like, it's one of those things. They're like, we had a summer of melee, and it's the melee teams were the best teams, and that's okay that they're a better team, because you probably will buy 2 teams. So maybe they're just like, you know what, Fly, there's only a couple of teams with Fly. You're king now for like this season. And they could do that.
Harlequins have already been almost king this whole time. They do not need the help.
They've always been
They're always good though. Thanks for watching. The full pod is available where you listen to your podcasts. We stream live on Twitch at Casual Wargamers, and the full video podcast is available now to all tiers of our Patreon. See you next week.